Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the kind of sex men and women want to have. This mind activates this energy to generate moods and feelings in my mind. Having sex creates the most powerful energy and generates moods of pleasure and feelings of love, which are much stronger than general moods and feelings. Men and women view sex differently. Men generally think of sex as pleasure because it generates moods of passion in men, not feelings of love. Of course, there are some men who assume strong connection between sex and love, or that love is what drives sex. But essentially, healthy male psychology makes men think of sex as something that is just pleasurable. When a man first sees a woman, he develops passion for her that centers around the pleasure of sex. Then after a long period of time together and after marriage, the man's subconscious creates love for the woman, and he no longer perceives her as an object of pleasure. Women, on the other hand, typically think of sex as love. Women don't think of sex itself as something pleasant or pleasurable. Not only that, but when a woman first sees a man, she is not interested in sex per se, nor does she perceive him as a sexual object. When a woman with normal psychology develops a crush on a man, it takes quite some time for this to evolve into love, and only when she is sure she is in love does she decide to engage in sexual activity. In a woman's psychology, feelings of attraction, love, and sexual actions are connected together as a sequence. And in a man's psychology, passion, sexual actions, and love are separate from one another. The process of developing a relationship must be adapted to the development of a woman's feelings instead of a man's moods. Sometimes women adapt themselves to men in order to be loved, and these relationships cannot last long. Men can wait until a woman is ready to engage in sexual actions because they can maintain their passion for the woman with or without sexual actions. However, if a woman is unsure of her love but still engages in having sex because she wants to be loved by the man or because she wants to fit in, it becomes a relationship that focuses on the man's pleasure. A relationship that is all about pleasure without love and passion for the partner will quickly wither away. If my mind is not functioning normally and is disturbed, distortion of sexuality occurs, resulting in psychological disorders. When this mind is working on my mind, a normal man is supposed to think about sex and pleasure, but he does not equate it with love. But a man with a psychological disorder may mistake it for love for the partner. As he equates the moods of pleasure triggered by the woman's responses, from talking to eating to touching with love, he becomes more and more immersed in them, and sexual actions are naturally intensified. Seeing themselves immersed in the woman's responses, they become more and more convinced that they are in love. In women, on the other hand, when this mind works on my mind, the feelings of attraction and love should have been created first. But when their mind is disturbed and psychological disorders develop, they may chase the positive moods of pleasure to cap their psychological wounds. Their mind has already lost its ability to treat wounds, and as this mind directly works only on the body without being screened through my mind, it seeks only pleasure. Women who insist that women also should focus on sexual enjoyment are considered to be suffering from the psychological disorder of wound dissociation. Passion and love are both perceived and felt in the consciousness in my mind. When this goes further and becomes a habit in each other's unconscious minds, love and passion are not felt in the conscious anymore. So you may feel like you're not even the opposite sex, but you are unconsciously in love without even realizing it. It is important to know what kind of sex men and women want, and to have clear standards so that there will be no misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts.